Life is filled with noise, conversations, comments, opinions, judgments, praise, criticism, expectations. Every day, dozens of words enter our mind and we don't even realize how deeply they affect us. But within all this noise, there are a few simple words that can completely change how we think, how we respond, and how we live. These are the words we often forget, but desperately need to remember to stay grounded, peaceful, and strong. Today, we are solving a problem that silently steals people's peace every single day. Why do a few careless words from others hurt us so much? And why do we forget the powerful words that can protect our happiness? By the end of this, you will walk away with words that can transform your reactions, your confidence, and your emotional stability. Every human being carries an invisible world inside them. Thoughts, memories, emotions, beliefs, they all form a kind of inner atmosphere. And just like the weather outside can be changed by the movement of clouds or winds, the inner world can be changed by the movement of simple words. A single sentence can brighten your whole day, and another sentence can destroy your entire mood within seconds. Words are not sound. They are seeds. And whatever seed enters your mind, knowingly or unknowingly, begins to grow. Think about the times someone told you, you can't do it. That one line didn't just disappear after being spoken. It settled inside you. It created doubt. It made you question your abilities. On the other hand, maybe someone once said, I believe in you. And even years later, those 4 words still give you strength. We underestimate words because they are small, but the impact they create is massive. Sometimes a person is not tired of life, they're just exhausted from the weight of the words they've been carrying for years. Your inner world is shaped daily by the words you choose to listen to and the words you choose to ignore. If you spend your time absorbing negative opinions, harsh judgments, or hopeless statements, you will slowly start believing that the world is dark and you are powerless. But if you consciously choose to nourish your mind with empowering thoughts, peaceful reflections, and compassionate reminders, your inner world becomes brighter, calmer, and more resilient. There is a story of a young boy who once heard his teacher say, "You are slow." That one label stayed with him like a shadow for most of his childhood. Even when he did well, a voice inside whispered, "Maybe this is not enough." Years later, another teacher looked at him and said, "You understand things deeply." That is your strength. Those few words didn't erase the old label immediately, but they planted a new seed, a healthier one, a stronger one. That boy eventually realized that the words he chose to believe were shaping the boundaries of his own potential. This is how it works for all of us. We cannot stop people from speaking. We cannot control what they say, but we can choose what we allow to enter our inner world. We can decide which words deserve to stay and which words need to be shown the exit door. The quality of your life will always reflect the quality of the words you carry within you. Every reaction you give in life begins with a word that appears in your mind. Before anger rises, there is a word. Before fear appears, there is a word. Before confidence awakens, there is a word. Your reactions are not born from situations. They are born from the interpretation you create through words. 2 people can face the same challenge, yet one panics and the other remains calm. The situation is identical, but the inner dialogue is completely different. Imagine someone insults you. The instant response most people have is, "How could they say this to me?" But the moment you choose that sentence, your reaction is already decided. You will feel hurt, angry, or offended because the words you selected inside your mind triggered an emotional chain. Now shift the inner dialogue slightly. Instead of, "How could they say this to me?" imagine telling yourself, "Their words reflect their state, not my worth." The situation is the same, but the emotional experience becomes completely different. This is the power of words. We often assume our emotions control us, but in reality, the words we tell ourselves control our emotions. A person who repeatedly says, "This is too much for me," will naturally feel overwhelmed. Another person facing the very same difficulty may whisper to themselves one step at a time, and suddenly the burden feels lighter. It is not the weight that changes, it is the words that change the weight. There is a story about a man who lost his job. For weeks he kept repeating, "My life is finished." Those 4 words made him blind to opportunities, blind to hope, blind to strength. His suffering didn't come only from the situation, it came from the vocabulary he was choosing. Later, during a conversation with an old friend, he heard just one sentence, "Maybe this is not the end, maybe this is the beginning." Suddenly, the storm in his mind shifted. The situation remained the same, but the reaction changed entirely because the words had changed. Your reactions are not automatic. They are built from the words you keep repeating. The person who tells themselves, "I can learn," reacts differently from someone who keeps saying, "I am not good enough." The person who says, "I trust the process," reacts differently from someone who says, "Everything is going wrong." Words create the emotional filter through which you experience life. When your words are heavy, your reactions are heavy. When your words are gentle, your reactions are controlled. When your words are hopeful, your reactions become courageous. The truth is, you cannot choose every situation, but you can choose the internal dictionary with which you respond. Life may speak to you with challenges, but you get to speak back with your chosen words, and those words decide your reactions. The most beautiful or the most painful moments in our lives often come from the words exchanged between people. A relationship is not just built on shared experiences or time spent together. It is built on the words we speak and the words we choose to withhold. Words can heal or hurt, connect or separate, uplift or break, and yet most people underestimate how much a single phrase, repeated daily, can influence the quality of their relationships. Think about the simple words, "I appreciate you." How often are they said in families, in friendships, or in partnerships? Yet, when spoken sincerely, these words can strengthen bonds, reduce resentment, and fill hearts with gratitude. Conversely, words like "you always" or "you never" can quietly erode trust, planting doubt and resentment over months and years. The effect is not always immediate, but it is cumulative. Words are tiny threads that weave the fabric of every relationship. The stronger the threads, the stronger the connection. The weaker the threads, the sooner the fabric tears. Consider the story of a father and son. The son was constantly told, "You're not trying hard enough." Over time, the son stopped sharing his dreams and struggles, believing he would never be good enough. The relationship became tense, distant, and filled with unspoken disappointments. Years later, the father decided to try something different. He said, "I see your effort. I am proud of how far you've come." The son's eyes lit up, and the walls between them began to crumble. The words did not change the past, but they changed the present. Words shape trust, open hearts, and build emotional safety in ways actions alone rarely can. Even in friendships, words carry extraordinary power. A compliment, a kind acknowledgement, a simple "I'm here for you" can turn an ordinary day into a moment that a person remembers for life. On the other hand, careless or harsh words, repeated even casually, can make people withdraw, resent, or avoid connections. Often, we do not realize how much our words affect others, but the impact is profound. Words create an invisible emotional climate. In this climate, relationships either flourish or decay. The key is awareness and choice. Not every word needs to be spoken, and not every feeling needs to be expressed. But when we choose words that bring understanding, kindness, and encouragement, relationships blossom naturally. The moment we forget the power of words, we begin to allow small slips, impatience, sarcasm, criticism to create emotional distance. Words are not just sounds. They are the bridge between hearts, the glue that holds love, trust, and connection together, or the chisel that silently breaks it apart. Words are not just instruments of communication. They are the architects of your destiny. Every thought you verbalize, every sentence you repeat silently in your mind shapes the path you walk. Some people think that destiny is determined only by luck, opportunities, or circumstances, but the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. Your destiny responds to the words you consistently tell yourself and the words you allow into your life. The stories you narrate with words, both to yourself and to others, form the foundation upon which your future is built. Consider this. When you say, "I can't do this," you are building walls around yourself. You may not see them immediately, but these words create invisible barriers, slowly limiting your possibilities. On the other hand, when you say, "I will figure this out," even quietly in your own mind, you are constructing bridges that connect your present challenges to future opportunities. Words are the bricks of either limitation or growth. They can imprison you or set you free. Think of the lives of great achievers. Their first victories often came not from resources or external help, but from the sentences they spoke repeatedly. "I will try, I can learn, I deserve this." These simple words created mental habits, and mental habits shaped their actions, and their actions eventually shaped reality. Similarly, ordinary people who limit themselves often do so with the words they cling to. "I'm unlucky, it's impossible, I'm not enough." Words repeated enough become beliefs, and beliefs become actions, and actions shape destiny. There is a story of a woman who dreamed of writing a book. For years she told herself, "I'm not a writer, who would read this?" The words held her back. Every time she sat with her ideas, doubt crept in, fueled by those very sentences. One day, she heard a mentor say, "Your words matter, start anyway." That one sentence shifted the way she spoke to herself. Slowly, she replaced "I can't" with "I will," "I'm not ready" with "I'm learning." Years later, her book was published and touched thousands of lives. The destiny she longed for existed all along. It only needed the right words to unlock it. This principle applies to every area of life: career, health, relationships, personal growth. The words you carry inside your mind act like a compass. If the compass points toward fear, limitation, or doubt, your journey will be fraught with obstacles. If the compass points toward courage, possibility, and persistence, even challenges become stepping stones. Words are the invisible energy that either propels you forward or holds you back. When you learn to choose them carefully, to repeat the empowering over the limiting, to speak life into your mind and heart, you start building a destiny that reflects your true potential. The words you carry are far more powerful than you realize. They shape your thoughts, guide your reactions, influence your relationships, and even create your destiny. Today, remember this: the small, simple words you choose to speak, think, and believe are the building blocks of your life. Guard them, nurture them, and use them wisely. Life will challenge you, people will test you, and situations will shake you. But the words you never forget, the words that build peace, strength, and courage, will always guide you toward the life you truly want.